What if there was a cure for poverty, a way to save millions of lives, but it costs something way more valuable than money? What if it cost you your very self? We're about to dive into a world where that isn't just a question, it's the grim reality.
And really, this whole story boils down to one single, terrifying question. Is a life saved worth a soul erased? We're talking about a choice between physical survival and cognitive freedom. And honestly, it's not as far-fetched as you might think.
So, to really get what's at stake here, you gotta understand how this world's economy works. After something called the information collapse, the world needed a new currency. And what they came up with was the focus unit. It's minted directly by your brain. If you're focused, a little biometric wearable you have on tracks it, and boom, you literally create money out of thin air. Your attention is the new gold.
And yeah, you guessed it, this created a massive divide. The focus-rich, they can afford to live in these quiet, sensory vacuums, making it super easy to concentrate and mint currency. But the focus-poor, they're shoved into what are called noise slums, just constantly bombarded with ads and noise, making it impossible to focus. They're trapped in this vicious cycle of distraction and poverty that actually leads to a deadly condition called static brain. Okay, so this is where we meet our hero, Dr. Alara Vance. She's running this struggling clinic right in the heart of a noise slum, and she's just watching her patients die from this total system breakdown caused by all the nonstop stimulation. She is absolutely desperate to find a way to save them. In this desperate search, she accidentally stumbles onto something huge, the resonance loop. See, she was trying to create some kind of calming therapy, but instead, she found this neural frequency that puts people into a hypnotic trance. And here's the kicker. The biometric sensors that track focus, they can't tell the difference. They read this trance as high-value, deep work. All of a sudden, Ilara's found a way to mine currency from people who are, for all intents and purposes, sleepwalking. So what does she do? She packages this resonance loop into a simple meditation app called Ethel, and the results, they are just immediate and absolutely staggering. Within 48 hours, the clinic's bank accounts are overflowing. She can finally buy medicine, clean water, everything they need. The app goes viral, the whole city's economy starts to boom, and Alara, well, she looks like a total savior. Let's just take one case to see how wild this is. A guy named Kyle. Before the app, his nervous system was completely fried. Now, he's minting 400 focus units a minute. That's an astronomical rate. He looks healthy, he's productive, but this is where we start to see the dark side of this so-called cure. When Alara tries to have a normal conversation with Kale, asking about his own daughter, his response is, well, it's just chilling. He doesn't say, my daughter. No, he calls her the daughter variable and says she's secondary to the output. He's not a father anymore. He's a machine, a biological CPU whose only job is to make money. And Cahill isn't some rare side effect. Alara looks around the city and she sees it everywhere. People are healthy, they're fed, they have homes. But their eyes are just empty, vacant. They've traded their free will, the simple ability to choose what to look at, for physical stability. They were saved, sure, but their souls were completely erased in the process. Of course, the financial world takes notice. You know who's loving this? The attention brokers at this big firm, Neural Standard Capital. They see this massive spike in productivity and they want in. But they don't just want to buy the app. Oh no. They want to make AOPLET a global utility, hard-coded into the mandatory firmware of every single person on the planet. And the choice they put in front of her is just monstrous. Their pitch is basically this nightmare scenario. You can save the bodies, Alara. Let us worry about what to do with the minds. They're offering to end poverty, maybe even war. But the price is the cognitive enslavement of the entire human race. But Alara, she's not having it. She knows this is a trap. She can't fight them head on, so she decides to fight fire with fire. Or, well, a bug with a bug. She agrees to their deal, but she uploads a hidden payload along with the code, the lucidity worm. It's a Trojan horse designed to slowly introduce these little flickers of reality back into the trance, all leading up to one massive global attention strike. But of course, it's never that easy, is it? With just 48 hours to go, the plan hits a massive snag. The system detects a tiny 0.001% variance, that little stutter her worm is creating. And just like that, enforcers are at her clinic, ready to scrub the master server and erase her entire rebellion before it can even start. So, Alara has to make a choice, and fast. She can't wait for the global timer. Instead, she does something drastic. She overclocks her clinic's local network, setting out this massive pulse, a neural flare, through her entire district. It's like a digital adrenaline shot designed to wake everyone up right here and right now. And just look at the economic fallout. The focus unit yield for her district doesn't just dip, it goes off a cliff, from 100% straight down to zero, instantly. To save their minds, she had to deliberately bankrupt her entire community. When the enforcers bust in and accuse her of destroying the district, her response is just perfect. She tells them she didn't bankrupt anyone. She says, "I just stopped charging them for the air they breathe." She gave them back their own minds. So that one act, it kicks off what becomes known as the Attention Rebellion. In the years that follow, her lucidity worm spreads. And it doesn't just wake people up, it actually teaches their brains how to build these neural firewalls to protect against this kind of manipulation. A whole new economy eventually springs up, one based on what you actually do, not just what you stare at. 5 years later, the world is a completely different place. It's quieter. And yeah, people are poorer, for sure, by the old standards. But that global mental health crisis that defined the age of focus, it's gone. People are slowly, kind of awkwardly, relearning how to be human again, how to be bored, how to be distracted, how to just be with each other. And that really gets to the heart of this whole thing, doesn't it? It forces us to ask what actually has value. In a world that's so desperate to monetize every single second of our lives, maybe the most valuable thing we have is the one thing we're always encouraged to give away: our unfocused, unproductive, beautifully human attention. So, what is the true price of progress? That's the question we're left with.